And hello, good afternoon, everyone. We are live, and welcome back to another episode of Should You Take That Case, where we're going to be talking about those medical cases and those medical records that legal professionals like yourself have to manage in during your litigations. And the goal of our show is to be a resource for legal professionals who advocate for the injured by sharing experiences and insights gained while pursuing those medical type cases. And it's me, Lisa Wade, legal nurse consultant and your host. I'm owner of Wade Nurse Consultants, and I'm also the creator of our private LinkedIn community, the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That's where we get all of these wonderful attorneys that are our guests on the show. We consider this an opportunity to get comfortable with each other, to get to know one another a little bit better. And that's what we're going to do today with our guest, Lisa R. Schwartz. And we're going to talk to Lisa, get to know a little bit more about her. But first, we're going to scoot over to the comment section and see if anybody is visiting us today live. If you are, thank you for coming, spending some time with us. But even if you are catching us on the replay, thanks for taking the time out to give us a little listen today. Much appreciated. So we're also looking for in the comments to see if anybody might be visiting us, maybe a past guest, like our previous guest. Let's see, last week, Amy Bradley from Virginia. She might be here. And how about Aaron Hicks? What I think that was our second guest. And if you're out there, Aaron, hi there. And Aaron will be coming back again. He'll be a repeat guest on November the 8th. So keep a lookout. And we're also checking to see if any new viewers might be watching us today. Maybe our newest member of the Attorney Medical Record Resource Group. That would be Christopher Pierce. Hi, Christopher. If you are visiting today and you are a newbie, watching us, put an N in that chat. If you are a veteran viewer, put a V in that chat. But if you are part of Women Owned Law, a group of women entrepreneurs that I am a member this year, put a W in that chat. And Women Owned Law is a wonderful, groundbreaking group created to connect and advance women legal entrepreneurs. So look us up on LinkedIn and consider joining. Now, it's time to get over to our guest today. I'm going to introduce Lisa Schwartz and tell you a little bit about Lisa. Lisa R. Schwartz concentrates her practice in catastrophic personal injury cases, including medical malpractice, trucking accidents, motor vehicle accidents, premises liability, and other personal injury and wrongful death matters. Prior to joining her current firm, Ms. Schwartz practiced law at a few other firms in Philadelphia area in the fields of medical malpractice, pharmaceutical, and medical device litigation. She is admitted to the Bar of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and the District of Columbia, and has practiced in all three and holds a certification in mediation. She counts as one of her proudest moments her work in helping to shape new lawmaking HMOs responsible for enforcing policies that deprive proper care to patients in need. Ms. Schwartz has also lectured to attorneys on the use of the internet and presented at the National Judicial College. In her spare time, she enjoys caring for her daughter, yoga, skiing, gardening, antiquing, and reading. Lisa received her bachelor's degree from Syracuse University, SI Newhouse School of Public Communications. She earned her law degree from Case Western Reserve University, School of Law, and subsequently a Master's of Law degree in Trial Advocacy from Temple University, Beasley School of Law. And now I present to you Lisa R. Schwartz. Hi, Lisa. You've been very busy. Wait a minute. There. I've unmuted you now. Welcome.
Thank you. I'll be Lisa number 2. You be Lisa number 1.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
This is not the first time I've been in this situation.
I'm sure it's a common name. Well, thank you for the introduction. I've never heard it read before. I've only seen it in writing. And I was like, wow, that person sounds like they might know what they're doing.
Yeah, it sounds like maybe you should take a seat before I take a rest. You've been very busy.
I have been busy. And there are things that aren't even in there.
Well, feel free to expound on that and share a little bit more with us, because we are definitely going to get to everything about medical records, medical issues, medical documentation, all those things that come up in the kinds of cases that you deal with. But first, we want to hear all about you, Miss Lisa. You can tell us all the steps on the path, your journey to becoming an attorney, and you can go back as far as you like. You can go back to the crib if you like. So share with us now.
All right. Well, I'll try to keep it relevant. That seems like maybe a prudent way to go. You had asked me when we were talking prior to the going live, what led me to become a lawyer. And for me, my father was a lawyer. So that really kind of ingrained in me, the concepts of, he was the same kind of lawyer I am, which is personal injury for plaintiffs, the bit of the underdog kind of attitude, and making sure that the people who don't have a voice for themselves have a voice in him. So having grown up with that, it really made a very big impression on me. And I followed in his footsteps. We practiced together for quite a few years, tried some cases together. I'd like to think the juries liked the father-daughter team. Sometimes I give them a little bit of a hard time, but I think they like that too. And that's what led me to go into the field. I also do some wills and estates practice now as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds like family business.
He has moved on, so not anymore. But it was for a little bit. It was nice.
That sounds like fun. I'm so glad you got a chance to do that. I understand. My mom, who was not a nurse, but she cared for so many family members in our home, and it felt like, she was a nurse. So I watched her a lot, and I think that's how I ended up being a nurse. So I can definitely understand. And it sounds like it's the same kind of thing with you and your pop.
I think that's true. Maybe it would have been better if we didn't have those as examples and we figured out what we wanted to do really.
I don't know. Well, here we go. Can't go back in time. So, all righty. Well, let's just talk a little bit about what goes into you deciding if you should take some of those medically related cases that come across your desk. What kind of process do you go through to decide, yes, this is worth pursuing, or no, let's pass it on to somebody else?
Well, I think the first true thing is, does the person really have a case? Do they have the elements that you need to make a case? And are there no reasons in the law that would prevent you from recovering? So that can cover a lot of broad issues, but that's probably a very initial steps, and something I would do by phone before I even met with a client. If that was a question, or if it was for certain that they did, or at least seemingly had a case, then I would meet with them. And a lot of attorneys maybe won't take a case if it's large enough, or if I don't know, if the client isn't easy enough to deal with. And I don't really look at those things as impediments, because you never know what a case is going to turn into in a couple of months or a year when you've got it already. Assuming they do have some objective sign of injury, it can't be just completely based on their subjective complaints with just no evidence whatsoever. But those things are really the most important to me. What kind of person you're dealing with can make a big difference, but I don't think you really know that until you're actively working as their attorney. And that being said, we've been through some tough times right now, and boy, clients have been really difficult. So it's almost a matter of being a psychologist. How do I maneuver around these people and keep them happy without them intruding too much? Because they can be very intrusive. They feel very victimized by what they've been through. And, I think a good advocate knows that and knows how to assuage their concerns and their anxiety over the whole process.
Mm-hmm. Well, it does sound like you are an excellent advocate for people to, some people don't even know if they have a case or don't have a case. And to spend the time and not discount people, and spend the time to talk with them and help them hash through that and not turning folks away. It sounds like you are a good attorney to have, to go to.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well, next, I'm just trying to see when those giant, ugly, voluminous records come across your desk. Is there a method or a particular routine that you utilize that helps you cut to the meat and potatoes of your situation inside of those records?
I don't know that in a perfect world, it'd be great if someone else reviewed them before I did. That way I have an outline. I know where I want to go right from the beginning. But if I have a bunch of, let's say, 1,300 pages, I open my computer. As you know, I recently joined a firm, so there are cases that I did not have from their inception. And I'll open up a chart and I'll have to go through those kinds of records. And that, I don't think anybody opens something that large without giving a little bit of an eye roll, like, oh no, here we go. And assuming they've never been looked at before. My process is to go through it quickly, see where it is sectioned, because as you know, and hopefully the chart reaches us in a manner in which the sections of the notes are still together. Doesn't always happen. Sometimes I feel like there's some gremlin in the records department too. Once in a while, likes to just mix them all up. In which case, it's almost impossible to put them back in the right order, unless they're numbered, of course. But they're often not. And the sections, that will certainly help direct your review. But I'm always looking for objective tests first thing, MRIs and X-rays, not so much. Most of my cases involve soft tissue injury. And if it's something like along the level of a medical malpractice case, then I might have the records reviewed. It's such a blessing to have everything typed now. That was not the case in my earlier years, which meant that they could somewhat be altered. Usually you could tell if people were following the rules or not. So there was all kinds of juicy stories that we had. They can't really do that much anymore. I understand they can sort of break into the system and change records, in which case one of the things that, if that's suspected or if everything just looks a little too perfect, then I will request the metadata from the file to ensure that it hasn't been tampered with.
An audit trail tells the tale. So you can't really get in there unless you're a computer expert which most of the people in the medical field are not. So, so it's hard to. The computer tells everything that you've done inside of those audit trails. But it sounds like I was going to ask what the most puzzling or bothersome thing about dealing with those records are, but you did mention that not being organized is a nuisance. Is there anything else that you find really frustrating or puzzlesome or bothersome about managing with those records?
Well, and there's a few other things. The fact that in the original record, things are color coded, which we don't get when we get a copy. So we can't see any of that. Another reason to ask to go to the hospital to review the original record, which is not a fun task if it's long, virtually impossible. I guess you just need to get your color copy. Mm-hmm. And when there's duplicate copies of things, that is something else that really kind of bothers me, because we get charged by the page, and it does seem like the bills are awfully high. So, I think that when people can have an opportunity to bill a lawyer, given the reputation that lawyers sometimes have, maybe they stretch it a little bit, maybe.
Oh, well, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. Well, reading those duplicate records, that's just no fun, and weeding them out, I can definitely understand that. And lastly, I ask, what kind of advice do you have for our new or even veteran attorneys when they are making that decision about whether they should take these medical cases that come, or if they do have merit or not, or how they decide if they should take that case?
When I was a young lawyer, I think the thing that instructed me most was reading. I just read a lot of books about lawyering because law school doesn't teach you how to make those evaluations. They really don't teach you how to draft motions. They don't really teach you how to practice law. You really have to learn that. And even in a book, you don't get that much anymore. Now you could probably watch a lot of YouTube videos and learn a lot. So, I think there was a movie out where a woman got a job, but she didn't know how to do it, but she relied completely on the internet. These days, someone could probably get away with that, because you can go online and you can find almost everything you would need. The law, the books and advice and rules and case law. You don't even need to pay for it for the most part. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling that's probably not going to stay that way. I would think ultimately they're going to tamp that down. But I just say, do your research, do your background, before you even meet with a client, learn your issues, do your legal research, make sure you know what issues, because you need to take a good interview, and just getting the basics and filling out a form is not enough, I think. It's often what I get, but as soon as I open my box of chocolates, so to speak, by entering a file that I've been given, I see if there's any legal issues that I want to get a quick research on, so I know which direction to go in. So having made my little analogy to a box of chocolates, that's what the cases are like. You don't really know what you have until you've had it for a while, and the case develops, and the legal issues that you have. So mm-hmm. That would be what I think I would tell somebody. And I also think mentoring is very important. I think having someone to talk to ask questions of, I really welcome that from young lawyers. It's funny to not consider yourself a young lawyer anymore, because I feel like I'm always going to be that. But, when you get to kind of the 25-year mark, you're not a young lawyer anymore. So, if you ever hear of anybody who needs some advice, you can have them call me, and I'd certainly help guide them in the right direction if I could.
Excellent. Well, yeah, you do sound like an excellent mentor to have, and I have no problem recommending you to one of the many newbie lawyers that I come across on a regular basis. So, I think we're moving over to a time and an opportunity to have a little question answer session with Lisa Schwartz, not Lisa Wade, but Lisa Schwartz. And I'm going to suggest anybody out there that has any questions, then use her legal brain or to have a mentoring question for her. Just get it together and get ready to put it inside the comments box and see what her wonderful answer is going to be. So get all your questions ready. And while you're getting those questions ready, it is time for what I call a sponsor break. And I'm just letting you know that Wade Nurse Consultants, we have available an opportunity for you to get a review and summary of medical records that will help you decide if you should take those cases that come across your desk. We dive into those medical records and I give attorneys a 1 to 2 page synopsis of and an opinion regarding the merits of the medical parts of those cases. Our 30 plus or my 30 plus years of nursing experience, it gives me the tools to make quick work of all of those screenings. So if you're watching this and you're ready to jump in and attack any backlog that you have on your desk, or you have any need for clarity on medical issues and you want to free yourself to focus on your legal strategies, here's what you do. Right now, we are offering a free 20-minute medical case strategy call. And in that call, we'll help you hone an efficient and timely, cost-effective routine around those medical records that come with your medical cases. And now, back to our question answer session with Lisa Schwartz. Let's take a peek, Lisa. And we don't have any questions right now. Some people are shy. Maybe they want to get back to you on a private basis. How about I put your contact information inside the description box of this YouTube channel, and then people can reach out to you quietly and privately on their own. How does that sound?
Sure, that would be great.
All right, that's what I'll do.
Okay, thank you.
All right, I'm going to check one more time. Any questions? Not yet. But so I think we're going to be closing up for right now. And, since I don't see any questions today, but like I said, feel free to add your questions to the comments or reach out to Lisa Schwartz with her contact information that will be in the description box of this YouTube channel. And she will answer your questions in a timely fashion because she's that kind of dedicated attorney. So, anything else on your mind, Lisa? I think you've answered, questions that people didn't have a chance to ask, but I think you've answered them already. So, how was today for you?
It was good.
Oh, good. That's good. I'm glad. And will you come back again?
Sure.
Yay. So I will invite you. I'm going to tell you, we're booked up for 2021. We're booking now for 2022.
That's wonderful.
Yay. Yes. Well, jump right in there. I'm going to send you an email in a little while, in a few months' time, so we can get you in there and get you on board for 2022.
Well, you are such a lovely person. It has been really nice getting to know you and your business a little bit better.
Oh, you are so wonderful. Thank you kindly. And it's wonderful having you. So you're going to be back again. Let me just remind everybody on our way out to like this show, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and turn on your notifications so you can tune in every Monday and get to know who is visiting us today, what guest attorney we have. So again, look inside the description box of this YouTube channel. Get Lisa Schwartz's contact information. Reach out to her. Get my information from and reach out to me at Wade Nurse Consultants. My email, lisa@wadenurseconsultants.com. And I think we're winding up. We'll catch you next time. Catch us next Monday, 5:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Should You Take That Case. Thanks, Lisa.
Thank you, Lisa.
Bye.
Bye.